Hey guys. Hmm. I'm a little bit early, so we're gonna wait a little bit while I try to figure out what's going on with my email. Can you guys hear me okay? Hi everyone. Hi. Hey folks. How's it going today? I am a little bit early, so I always try to come on early to make sure that everything works. Thank you, Mr. Brownstone. I appreciate it for confirming. I just wanted to do something and I forgot what I was doing. Uh, how are you guys? How's your week been? I'll get to you in just a second. Just one more second. I technically still have 1 minute. um, okay, cool. All right, let's go. Hi, Trans. Hi, Ahi. Hi, Mr. Brownstone. Good afternoon. Hi, Damon. Thank you, BTS. Hi. Hi. Hello. And thank you so much for confirming that you can hear me. Good morning, Taylor. Hi, effing trucking. Love it. Hi, Abdo. Hi, Truffle Hacks. I am determined to say hi to everyone. Hi, Bob. Thank you so much. Hi, Raymond. All right, let's go. I I wanna open a truck firm. Can I open a truck firm if I don't have legal status and an SSN? Usually, no. You do need to have legal status and a social security number, in order to although that's a good question. I believe you do have to have a social security number. Hi, Coel. Hi, Ian. Cold? Me or you? Me, I'm always cold. Um, let's see. Oops. Let's see comments. Okay. Good morning, Richard. Main source, not bad. That's good. Yeah, this week has been, I mean, it just started yesterday, but it's been okay, uh, relatively speaking. Mm. Hi, Z Trans. Hello, Houston is snow today. Yeah, I hear that the weather is insane right now. The winds, I mean, right now they died down, but last night the winds picked up like crazy again here. So hopefully everything is fine. Hi, Theo. Ian. Um, Question. I'm a carrier looking to get into brokering. How do I get my broker license? So I'm not, I mean, I have always been a carrier. I did look into brokerage a while back and I just didn't pursue it. In terms of getting your broker's license, I know that you need an MC number and you do need a bond. In order to, I believe that's how you activate the MC number for a brokerage. Yeah. Time between loads, but good. Yeah, the key is patience. You definitely want to wait it out. Yesterday, I was waiting a load out in Laredo, Texas, and ended up getting something decent. Thank you so much. Nothing here in Dallas. No snow. We had snow almost 2 weeks. Yeah. When I was in Utah, we were watching the news and we saw it was horrific. And then one of my guys got stuck in that craziness, but he was in Oklahoma where the loads were sorry, he was in Oklahoma where the roads were closed. They closed down the road in Oklahoma. Mm.
Hi, Jeffrey. How's trucking now? I mean, it's more of the same, to be quite honest. Nothing crazy happening yet, but that's something I wanted to chat with you guys about because I just read an article and I was debating, do I make a live? Do we discuss it? Or do I just make a video? I decided let's just talk about it on the live. Shippers apparently right now they're not looking to increase rates like contract rates. They're looking to keep a lid on rates because they're afraid of what's going to happen later on this year. They're preparing for potentially having to increase rates in the second half of the year. I don't know. But yeah, shippers are starting to talk about, well, if we continue doing what we're doing, we're going to end up burning bridges and we might need these guys. Duh. So I don't know. What are you guys feeling? In terms of the market right now, I don't feel much of a difference. I mean, I do. Okay, that was a blatant lie. I do feel a difference, of course, in terms of like the negotiating power for carriers. You can negotiate with brokers. Again, posted rates are still absolute doo-doo, but you are able to negotiate with brokers easier. I'm starting to get more calls from brokers. I'm starting to get a lot of calls from TQL as well, which every time I kind of send them to fly a kite. Sorry, one moment. My glasses are dirty. um, yeah, and another thing, I wanted to say something and I forgot what I was going to say. One second, guys. Does anyone else do that? Like sometimes when I'm not thinking, I start grabbing my glasses by the glass part and then they're all gross. Hi, David. Hi, Grace. I did answer this question already. I don't believe so. I don't believe so, but then again, I would recommend to look into it. But yeah, I don't believe if you don't have legal status, a trucking company, you mean? Usually you can't. Usually they ask during the application process. Hi, Francisco. Do illegal people work in trucking at all? Yes, they do. So it's interesting because a lot of people you'll ask, they're like, oh, trucking is going to get so much better with the new immigration policy. The reality is you cannot get a CDL without without having some kind of legal standing in the US. You have to be either, I believe you can have a work permit, or you have to be a green card holder, like a permanent resident, or you have to be a US citizen. Now, that doesn't mean that there are no people that are driving without CDLs, or another illegal way of driving within the United States is through that, what is it called? Is it the B1 visa? Basically, it's one of those visas that allows folks from bordering countries to deliver into the United States. So from Mexico and Canada, you can deliver in the United States, and then you have to deadhead back to the place of origin, or you have to take a load back. But what these folks are doing, or what the carriers are forcing these folks to do, is they bring them into the United States. I mean, they deliver a load in the United States, and then they start hauling throughout the United States, which is illegal. And that way, these carriers, they save money because folks from Mexico or Canada, they actually don't earn as much in term like as team members, drivers, they don't earn as much. So carriers are able to save money while these folks are competing with US based trucking companies, which is illegal. How to do a hazmat certification for trucking companies? Well, first of all, you do have to have a hazmat endorsement on your CDL, but the certification process is through the same place now that does TWIC cards, I believe. Yeah. EIN number. Oh, yeah, that's instead of the SSN, you mean? Yeah. Um, Guys, a question for you if you know the answer, because unfortunately I'm not, I have never worked in the dump trucking side, but is dump trucking good in 2025? David Williams is asking. Hello from Aim High Deliveries Corp in New Jersey. Hello. Hi, Alexandra. Thank you. I do enjoy doing I was supposed to do it on Saturday, but I knew that I said that I would potentially do it on a Saturday, but I knew that the likelihood was very low. Life happens, right? Hello from Detroit. Hi. Is anyone else having trouble with the FMCSA website? I actually did not check which part, like signing up for getting your MC number or the MCS 150, which part? I will be skipping questions that I answered already, just so you guys know, and this will be recorded and posted later. So the duplicate questions, I know that sometimes I answer a little bit late, and folks start asking it multiple times. Um, is this the best time to get your semi truck and trucking? So, uh, for semi trucks, I believe the prices are low right now. It depends on who you ask, right? In terms of prices, yeah, prices are low. The only thing right now is because the financing companies have been so burned by the trucking industry, it's very, very difficult to get financing. You do have to have a pretty good credit score. There are financing companies that will work with you, even if you have almost no experience or not so good credit score, but they'll charge you an arm and a leg in interest rates, right? And then you'll have to, if the interest rates go down, you'll have to refinance it at a future date. But really getting into the industry or getting a semi truck, but getting into the industry, it depends on who you ask. Some people will say, yeah, it's a fantastic time to get in because you're going to learn what it's like in a very, very challenging time, and that will set you up for success later on. And then some people are saying, no, this is not a good time to get in because the reality is trucking in the state it is right now, even though I do think there are some movements in the state it is right now, it is challenging to survive, especially if you are a new authority. If I don't have legal status, can I work as a class A? I don't believe so. So, in order to get a CDL, you do have to, like in California, I believe, in order to get a regular driver's license, you still have to show some proof, but very often, a lot of people don't have to have legal standing. In terms of a CDL, you do have to show proof that you're a resident. I believe work permit is acceptable, or a green card. I'm not resident, yeah, or a citizen. Any tips on hiring a driver? In what sense? So, tips in terms of where to find them, or tips on how to figure out who is going to be a fit? The first thing you need to remember is when looking for drivers, you have to first ask your insurance company what are their requirements, because I have been burned so many times finding an amazing person that I thought was amazing, and then my insurance company shut it down and they're like, no, we're not going to insure this person, and that's it. So, what are your insurance requirements? In our case, our insurance requirements are getting more and more stringent as the years go by. It's 2 to 3 years of experience. And, like, for example, one guy that I found, he had some small speeding ticket in a school zone, something like that. And insurance just said no, even though he had a ton of experience and no accidents, nothing, but just that speeding ticket in a school zone made our insurance say no. In terms of finding drivers, there are different ways. I mean, everyone has their own avenue, right? The ones that worked for me uh, predominantly is the Truckers Report. This is a forum where a lot of folks in the industry go to figure out what's going on with the industry. And in that forum, there is a job postings sub forum where you can post a job, or there's also a place where drivers say that they're looking for a job. Scary deal to become a broker. Lots of risk and huge competition. Yeah. I think that's something that a lot of us forget about, is that brokers are also facing competition, which is partially why rates are not the best at the moment because when they're quoting their customers, they're trying to underbid each other as well. Um, is it mandatory to have USDOT and MC to register for IFTA? So IFTA, you do need an MC. In terms of what comes first, if you shoot me an email, it's talkabouttrucking@gmail.com. I'll let you know because I haven't registered for IFTA in such a long time. I need to look through my documents if we were able to register for IFTA with an MC pending. That's my only question. But yeah, in general, you do need an MC for IFTA. And also, I think I'm also mixing it up because with IRP, which is the portion license plates, I believe you can register for IRP with an IFTA license pending. But yeah, shoot me an email and I'm going to look through my documents and let you know. How to book loads without a DOT. What do you mean? I'm getting a lot of questions of how to do this without proper licensing. What's going on? You mean as a dispatcher? So, as you still need a DOT. DOT will be what is it called? Not DOT. You need an MC and DOT number to book interstate loads. Even as a dispatcher, you would just use your carriers, the person you are dispatching their MC or DOT. Yeah. Why does my driver not want to go towards Georgia? If I'm not mistaken, the weather there is not great right now. I believe that's what it is. Feels like -8 here right now. Yikes. -8 Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's funny. I'm always cold no matter what. But in Utah, it was -17 degrees at one point, Celsius. Celsius. I don't even know what that is Fahrenheit. I still I think in miles, but in terms of temperature, I think in Celsius. And it was fine. It's weird. Here I can think in Fahrenheit. Here it's like, I don't know, 60, 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm freezing. There it was -17 Celsius, and I was fine. Um, Good morning. If my MC did not have insurance to active before 90 days and they canceled it, can I reinstate the same number and how, please? Yes, I believe you can because at least that was the case for me when I was. Remember how I said I wanted to be a broker at one point? So at that point, I decided to say, no, I'm not going to be a broker. No, it was, yeah, yeah. So I didn't get anything in terms of, in terms of the bond, and then I used that MC, inactive MC, to be able to open our baby company. For those of you who don't know, I used to have two trucking companies, one original company, which is still with us, and then a baby company, which we did end up closing down because it was just useless at that point. So yes, you can. I would reach out to the FMCSA. They have a chat option and they will walk you through the steps there. Any new updates on BOI for truckers? I believe BOI is dead as of now, but let's double check. BOI, FinCEN. So let's see. FINCEN. So the last update, what's going on? Last update, ongoing litigation. Yeah, it says here voluntary submissions. In light of a recent federal court order reporting companies are not currently required to file beneficial ownership information with the FINCEN and are not subject to liability if they fail to do so while the order remains in force. So yeah, it's the same update as we had before. Because of ongoing litigation, you can file if you want to, but you don't have to. Brokers are moving on rates easily. Yeah, I wouldn't say easily, but there's definitely more negotiating power. I am seeing brokers kind of trying to hold on to what they used to do like a year ago, and it's not working. And they do end up slowly like increasing rates on the load board. I'm again also noticing a lot of brokers are starting to call me. Do you have capacity here? Do you have capacity there? I'm noticing that brokers, for the most part, are nicer, as it usually happens. Yeah, yeah. And it's easier to negotiate. I love that smiley. So thank you so much. Can you please recommend extended warranty companies for box trucks? Box trucks are not my forte. Um, I'm only with semi trucks. Does anyone know any good extended warranty companies for box trucks? Smartest girl in the room, or tries to pretend to be. I have to do a delivery today, but company is closed because of the weather conditions. Yeah, that's what we face. Well, we face something similar. If you have a flatbed, I would say try because that's what happened to us when my guy got stuck in Oklahoma. The broker actually called and said, "Don't even bother going in because they're not going to unload you today because of the crazy weather." And my guy, being stubborn, he's like, "I'm going to try anyway." They unloaded him that day. And did I grab an? Yeah, I grabbed another load. Feels like -5. Do you think Trump will speed up the process of sponsoring GC general contractors through labor? The current process takes 5 years. I don't know. I am so I mean I what do you guys think? I don't know. TQL starting to raise their rates because nobody's taking their loads. Okay, Taylor, thank you for mentioning TQL and no one's taking their loads. Guys, if you're not on truck stop, just try it out for a little bit. They have a new feature called views. So when you log into the load board, next to each load, there's going to be a view meter like low, high, average, be the first to view. And that basically tells you how many people are clicking on those loads. If the view is high, that means you have a lot of competition on that load. If the view is low, then not a lot of people are interested and you can negotiate. Cool tool. Something I have realized why TQL reminded me of this. Every TQL load has low views. Like it seems like people just do not want to work with TQL right now. Yeah. I mean, they did it to themselves. I am sorry. When everyone was saying stop working with TQL, I was the very unpopular opinion in the room saying that, listen, for us, it has worked. We have been working with them for 5 years and they used to give us good rates because we built quite a reputation with them inside their kind of system. But the way they screwed us over, yeah. My father always taught me something that was taught to him. In business, you can lie once and that's it. And that's what happened with TQL. This was a broker I did rely on for a very long time. And it took just one screw up on their behalf for me to never consider working with them again. And I have been in markets where predominantly all loads are by TQL or they pay the highest, if you believe it. I will still not take it. I'll wait for another load to come out, which is usually better. Yeah. So this is their mess up, unfortunately, and it's sad. Thank you so much for all the great information that you provide. You're so welcome. Thank you guys for providing me with information as well. Hi, Arthur. Thank you, Johnny. Uh, well, how can I lose weight? For me, I mean, I don't try to lose weight, to be honest. I used to, when I was a little bit younger, I used to yo yo diet a lot. And I finally found the thing that works for me, which is keto. Um, and but I can't I never count calories. I think I eat a ton of calories every day. I eat a lot of cheese, but I also work out constantly. Lots of water. Advice that I should take as well. You should drink lots of water and just eat clean. Try to limit sugar. Does the MCS 150 mileage have to match IFTA reported mileage? It has to be at least somewhat similar. Yeah, of course. They should be ideally the same. Yeah. Every year you have to report the mileage. Speaking of which, did I report it for 2024? Probably not. Have to do that. If you cut your hair up to the shoulders, you're done. Well, the good news is that I am married. So, and the bad news, or the good news for me, is I do not cut my hair. I am. I have tried. There was a time where I really wanted short hair, but no. Um, do you think they're going to lower the speed limit for truck drivers? No, I think that the speed limiter rule is going to be dead. That's my opinion. We need to stop that. What are we stopping? UNET trucking after 33 years gave me a reason to get out of the industry. Freight rates should be based on carrier charges. Retail is permitted to raise prices in stores, raise prices to consumers. Yeah. Mm. It is unfortunate that having all the expenses on our side, we are not able to really set rates because of the amount of competition. But yeah. How do I renew my IRP plate? So I do it, depends on where you are based. I'm based in California. In California, to renew, it takes forever. So I do everything through a company called Road Ready Registration. They're amazing. I believe they service other states as well. But usually IRP plates are done through your state's website. Every state has a particular website. In California, I believe it's done on paper, so that's why I do it through Road Ready Registration. Um, I answered this question already, probably because of the weather. Yes, 100%. It's not just drivers. Dispatch jobs are outsourced because it's cheaper. That's a waste for US and US dollars. Yeah. I mean, yeah, a lot of carriers will outsource dispatching. I believe that I mean, I think that if you can just dispatch yourself, it's a great way to learn the market and it's also going to save you that percentage. um, I'm not a very good, I don't delegate very well. It's a problem. But yeah. Double brokering is so bad right now. We vet them out and call them out all the time. Yeah, you have to be very, very careful. Check everything against the safer web. Yeah, it's hard. Fraud is rampant, which is why all of these carrier vetting tools are coming out that are completely ridiculous, that I'm not a fan of at all. But yeah. Yeah, Arthur, if you're in California, I really highly recommend reaching out or at least checking out their website, Road Ready Registration. They're amazing. They just save me time. They do charge fees, of course, to file for you, but they have saved me so much time. I'm an American citizen. I just have my license for 2 years. I have no restrictions and all endorsements. Can't find a job. Wow. Yeah, I think a lot of trucking companies are right now kind of I mean, there are people who are hiring. I know mega carriers are hiring, but a lot of trucking companies are right now in a wait and see situation. Updating the MCS 150 is a nightmare right now. Why? What's going on? Is the FMCSA site down? Сколько лет ты уже в Америке? Твой английский просто кайф. If you don't mind, I'm gonna answer in English so that everyone understands. I have been in the United States for hold on. almost 17 years now, but I studied in an American school. English has always been my first language. Even though I wasn't born here, nor did I grow up in America, but I always studied in an American school, and English has always been my first language. Now I'm trying to learn Spanish, and the only thing that I have learned so far is yo estoy cansada, which is very important. I am tired. um, Hello, today there are no flatbed loads in Los Angeles area, Ontario to be exact. Flatbed is horrible right now. Vadim, yes, flatbed and California do not mix right now. First of all, California just went through all those horrific fires, which means that a lot of things are going to be lacking here. I think in the future, as they start rebuilding California, a lot of flatbeds will be needed to come from other places to California. But California has been bad for flatbeds for a while now. I try to stay away from it. Even though we're based here, we try to stay away from California. We'll run around it. Arizona, I try to stay away from. Utah, I try to stay away from when possible. But Washington, Oregon, even though I'm not a fan of their laws and regulations, but Washington, Idaho, Nevada is okay. I do enjoy going to, or I enjoy booking loads to Wyoming or Montana, even though they are not the greatest. But I have figured out that if you wait long enough, there's going to be a load, depending on where. But yeah. Yet truck drivers pay the price away from home, getting slave wages per mile. They should make as much as airline pilots, but truck drivers are more at risk of not making it home. Yeah. Look, the reality is right now, it's like a chain reaction, right? One person screws the other, that person then screws their person, that person then screws their person, and this all comes from one place, right? And then it's a chain reaction, unfortunately. I have a class A and I have been off the road since 2019. Do you think it's worth it to start a new authority in 2025? To be honest, starting a new authority, when someone asks me that, Ollie, it always makes me nervous because I understand that brokers right now are very, very suspicious of everyone, and getting loads as a new authority, your best bet, even though that I'm not a fan, but TQL, right? But they don't pay as well as many brokers. Um, I would say that if you have a class, what is it called, class A, I would say lease on, lease on. If you have a truck, lease on for now. Because starting a new authority, you'll be in a position where it's just going to be very challenging to find loads because all brokers are so terrified of all the fraud. It's just a mess. Signing up for MCDOT. I had trouble inputting the business address. I called and had that corrected. However, now it is not accepted any form of payment for my completed application. What do you mean you can't? They're not accepting payment? Sometimes with addresses, you have to go to the USPS website and see how they write your address, and that's how the FMCSA will accept it. In terms of payment, I would reach out to the FMCSA specifically through their chat option. That chat option has been my best friend when I was starting out because you get to save that chat, you get to look at it later on, and they're good at helping. Yeah. I wonder why they're not. Maybe that something's wrong with the system. The trucking industry should set rates, not shippers or receivers. You're starving your business and drivers overall retail greed. Yeah, over retail greed. Yeah, I agree. But the problem is the probably a don't rip my head off for this, but carriers did this to themselves. Carriers did set the rates. The competition did, right? It wasn't the shippers or receivers that set the rates while the carriers were saying, no, 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 we're not going to take it. No, someone took it. more than one person, right? And that's why it continued being so crap. The reality is, as much as some people don't like when I say this, it is a free market. And if a broker or a shipper can sell a load for $1.50 per mile without any issue, why would they increase the rates? And the problem is that a lot of people will take that kind of rate. It's unfortunate. I'm calling it quits next time my insurance is up if things don't change. What about you guys? Yeah, I mean, I'm very stubborn. I know a lot of people are kind of hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Is that what it's called? Um, some people are so done and they're just waiting for the right time to exit. I'm very stubborn. Yeah, I'm very stubborn. I don't know what would need to happen for me to leave. I'm very stubborn. It's a horrific quality in some senses. Um, can you explain more on the challenges as a new authority? The biggest challenge that you're going to face that I didn't face because we started in 2019 is that since COVID happened, so many people came into this industry, brokers, carriers, and so on, that fraud has become such a big issue that freight brokers are now scared of everything. So, even as a seasoned authority, like we have our authority for going on 6 years now, even as a seasoned authority, a broker will not work with us because we have a California address. Because statistically speaking, carriers who are based in California are more likely to commit fraud. So we're just, yeah, we are being affected by that. And we've had our authority for going on 6 years. Now, with new authorities, because brokers are not able to check inspections, you have to wait some time before you get an inspection. You need your new entrant audit. You don't have that verifiable experience. Brokers would rather go to someone with a seasoned authority or someone they have worked with before than try to work with someone new. This might change, and I think it will change the moment that brokers start feeling like they're not able to secure capacity. The moment that they start feeling that, hey, no matter what I do, no one is taking my load and I'm about to lose that customer, that's when they'll start making exceptions and saying, okay, fine, we'll work with you. It happened to us. In 2019, it wasn't this difficult. I worked with TQL, I worked with HC Schmilding, whatever their name was. I worked with a few brokers right in the beginning. There was one broker, I don't remember who it was, who said, we cannot work with you until you get 3 months of authority. But then they got into such a situation where they just could not find anyone to haul their loads. So they just asked for references and they ended up giving us this load. So it will happen. We just have to wait for the capacity crunch to happen first. Most insurance requires 2 years minimum CDL, correct? Yeah. I would love to hear your take on the uptick in fuel prices last night. Political? How? I actually have not kept track of fuel prices this week yet. So I am not sure. I know that the futures were up because of the weather. I need to do a little bit more digging on this. Eric, it's all about supply and demand. It's a free market, no set rates, correct? If you start a business, you can stay in America for 7 years. I don't know much about that. Double brokering has always been bad. I disagree with you, Patrick. At least I'm just comparing from my experience. Double brokering was, it was like, I mean, people were talking about it, but it was a non-issue. Now you have to check everything to make sure that you're not falling victim to a double brokering scheme. Yeah. It got worse, is my point. It wasn't as bad, at least not 6 years ago. FMCSA constantly changing their website makes it so hard to update anything, and it takes them forever. Yeah, I think they're trying to implement that new system and they're trying things out, which of course makes everything much more difficult for people who are trying to file something. Yeah. Do you provide a course how to book loads and IFTA filing? Yes, my dispatching course goes through how to book loads, how to negotiate. It goes through IFTA in terms of breaking down how IFTA works. IFTA filing is going to be depending on which state you're in. Every state has its own IFTA filing website, with some states doing it on paper. Yeah. Повезло же кому-то. Thank you. um, wow, 68 degrees here yesterday. California? Yeah. According the last time I looked, it was 60. I'm freezing in California. I don't understand. Utah is much colder and I wasn't freezing. um, in Virginia, you just need a truck title for IFTA. Don't need your own DOT or MC. They may want the numbers of who you're leased to. There we go. You're welcome, Alexandra. 110 in Australia at the moment. Wow. Well, yeah, our winter is your summer, right? It's like the opposite. Oh my goodness. I was in Australia once and I was like a little kid then, but I miss it. It was so beautiful there. The people, my God, the people. The kindest people I have ever met were from Australia. Just the nicest folks. Number two is Utah. um, Hello, I have so many questions, but to keep it short, when would the load prices change in your opinion? I think that the load prices are starting to change already. I just think that not on the surface. What you're going to see is you'll continue, what did I just say? You will continue seeing bad rates posted on the load board, but just don't trust them. You'll see that brokers are more willing to negotiate. The reason for this is because of capacity. I mean, capacity did leave right now because of the weather. Might not be gone forever, but capacity did decrease right now because of the weather. Is it going to stick? Possibly. Как легко выучить английский? Дай совет, please. I mean, Ahi, to be quite honest, I have been speaking English from the moment I was born. Literally, my father only spoke English to me. That was the first language I learned. So I don't know how easy it is to learn the English language. If you have like French under your belt or Spanish or something like that, there are some words that have the same kind of roots or how корни, you know? Yeah. Negative 22 Celsius is negative 8 Fahrenheit. Yikes, that is freezing. uh, Enos from Never Stop Trucking recommended your channel. Been watching your informative content ever since. Appreciated. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you to Enos or Enos for recommending my channel. Do I have to file 2290 every year? Yes, you do. Yes, this is an annual tax. The market's going to flip because what goes around, where is it? Goes around, comes around. Yeah. I mean, eventually everything goes in cycles, right? This industry always goes in cycles. The only problem is this down cycle has been lasting way longer than usual. Usually down cycles in the trucking industry can last from 9 to 12 months. This one has been lasting for 3 years, so everyone is obviously extremely tired. There we go. Yes, you do have to file 2290, the heavy use vehicle use tax every year. Thank you very much, Dritan. Have you ever worked with Amazon? I got set up with them a while ago, I mean, years ago, but I never worked with them because I got set up with them when the market was on its high in its peak, and they had absolutely crap rates. They were much worse than what the load board and the brokers were offering. So I decided I'm not going to work with them, and no, I haven't hauled anything for Amazon. No. For starting individual dispatch, is there EIN necessary for that or not? Confirm, please. I always recommend getting an EIN just to separate everything. You don't have to. EIN is free through the IRS website. You can be a sole proprietor, right? Which means that you don't have to form a company and still have an EIN. I recommend an EIN just simply because it separates everything. No, no one. I have gotten 200 to $500 more than posted rate. Yeah, I've been noticing it's now like between 200 to $300 more that I'm getting, more than on average, more than the posted rate. Yeah, the posted rate is always going to be crap. And again, there are going to be brokers that genuinely surprise you. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I called on a load that was 800 miles, full tarp, 48,000 pounds, like the full shebang. And she's like, we pay $800 on it. Um, let's see. Oopsie. Where did I go? Oh my gosh. Wait, this is not where I was. Sorry, guys. Ugh, sorry. Did you file your BOI? No, I did not. I actually was planning to file, and then something happened to my computer. I think the internet went out, and the next day they said it's not required anymore. It's voluntary, so I never filed. Um, mm, I'm going to skip questions that I answered already, if you guys don't mind, because I want to keep up with everyone. Oh, green card. Did you see green card? I'm sorry. General contractors. um, I don't think it's going to be easier to get a green card. Not under this administration. Yeah, in my opinion. I haven't seen TQL posting loads this year or a lot this year. Um, Sorry, guys. I have a vice. In my defense, I used to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, so this is better. I haven't seen TQL posting a lot this year. I've seen their loads everywhere. They have a lot of loads, but I just refuse to take them. The last load we did with them was, I believe, in the summer. Um, President Trump's mass deportation operation will be targeting supply chain and logistics industry. Of ICE, state police, local. We'll be raiding warehouses. Yeah, I did hear. They actually, ICE just raided, just had a raid in Bakersfield. My husband was just telling me that. Yeah. The three-letter brokers are terrible. They deceive a lot. Uh, this will affect also trucking companies as terminals will be rated as well. Yeah, but we have to remember that CDL holders, the capacity is dispatchable trucks, and there is no dispatchable truck without a CDL holder. CDL holders, usually, if it's a normal carrier who's not hiring someone without a CDL, like that one guy, CDL holders usually have some legal immigration status here. What do you think about the car hauling industry? I know very little about it. I know that people were saying it was really good for a while and then it started going down and there's no money in it. I mean, the only other thing I know is that you don't get paid the way you do on regular loads. You get paid on delivery, something like that. But I don't know much about the car hauling industry. It's something that I'm always curious about, and maybe we'll try it out in the future. But for now, yeah, it's more like first I want to get my authority to be able to go through Canada into Alaska. I just saw it, 21 grand load. to Alaska. Thank you so much, Tygoon Family Tygoon. I appreciate it. I've been driving 10 years. I just got my own truck. Do you have an insurance contact? The quotes I've been getting are beyond nuts. So insurance contacts will depend on which state because not all agents work with all states, but I have been using for my insurance provider, it's been Benchmark. You have to find someone who represents Benchmark. I absolutely love them. We've been with them pretty much the whole time except for the first year. Yeah, they're great. Thank you so much. Oh, where was I? Oh my goodness, I am so late. Okay, posted. Seen that. Oh, there we go. TQL posted a load today from Florida to Texas for 75 per mile dedicated. Yeah, TQL loves doing that. If you have a flatbed, you want to stay closer to, I believe, Tallahassee. Well, yeah, maybe Tallahassee in Florida. They sometimes have more decent rates. At least they did last year, during this time last year. More decent rates from Tallahassee, Florida, long hauls. Truck capacity will be affected. There is an estimate that 50% of drivers in the US are illegal immigrants using either fraudulent What? See, yeah, in that case, American Dave, of course, trucking is going to be affected. See, I was always under the impression that CDL holder, I mean, I try to see the best in people, I suppose. If you have a CDL, that means you have to prove that you have legal standing in the United States, resident, citizen, work permit, whatnot. But see, I guess I'm too naive. TQL will partner up with autonomous trucking companies to run their loads. Billionaires aren't playing chess or checkers, they're on the Ouija board. I walk 8 miles a day, so my body fat percentage is at 5%. Hmm. Как выучить английский, живя в Рашке? Ahi, I would recommend the best way to, hey, if you have access, Duolingo. That's what I'm learning my Spanish, the Spanish on. Duolingo is amazing. Duolingo, try Duolingo. I wonder if it works. If not, YouTube. YouTube, watch movies. My mom is actually an English teacher, sort of. She teaches people how to speak English. Trucking stress will make you lose weight. Ain't that the truth? I just realized I'm like 40, no, 30 minutes behind. I am so sorry, guys. um, TQL is so big that they serve as garbage shippers with low ratings like man, Freddy's in Pennsylvania. That's why I have to boycott TQL. Yeah, TQL is. I just, yeah, they screwed me over and I am not going to work with them. I can handle, I mean, I will not work with brokers who are rude, like consistently rude. I have blacklisted a lot of them. TQL is one of those companies that has never been rude. They have never been rude, but they lie to you with a smile on their face. At least that's what happened to me. So I'm, yeah, unfortunately, it's sad. Carnivore diet along with fasting 3 days. Yeah, by the way, I mean, I'm keto, not quite carnivore diet, but very similar, but fasting 20 hours fast every single day in my case. It's important. It's very good for your body and also eliminate sugar because apparently cancer cells cancer cells, they actually feed off of sugar. It's tough hitting the gym at times. Yeah, mentally, and sometimes time doesn't permit. For me, it's mentally tough. I actually did a heroic thing on last Friday because I knew that I would not be able to make it to gym. So I actually got my butt out of bed at 4 o'clock in the morning and went running on the treadmill. Yeah. I'm never doing that again, by the way. Uh, a new carrier just got banned by TQL before they can haul a load for TQL. I have actually, I have been hearing a lot of things like this. TQL, a lot of new folks try to work with TQL and then are blacklisted by TQL for absolutely no reason. And when they try to figure out why was I blacklisted, TQL says that they are not allowed to say. I don't know what's going on there. Looking at getting back into trucking. As a driver, am I better off getting paid by the mile or getting a percentage of what the load pays? What is the average most drivers are getting paid per mile? I'm not sure what the average is right now. I know it's much lower than it was a couple of years ago. So it's a catch 20, not, I guess that's not the right way to say it, but it's kind of, you have to choose, right? When the market is bad, if you're getting paid by the mile, you're set no matter what the market is doing. But when the market is good, like it was in 2021, for example, you're of course making more on a percentage. So you have to pick and choose. We used to pay by odometer readings, all miles by the mile, and then the market turned, and our guys were doing great in terms of their income, and we were, we had to figure something else out. So you have to, I mean, per mile pay is consistency. But if you are looking for a way to make more money when the market is good, of course, a percentage pay is going to bring you more income. Yeah. What load board do you recommend for a power only truck? What load board do you recommend for a power only truck? For a power only, I recommend DAT. Kelly, Kelly. What do you think about current market? This January seems to be extremely slow. I think that the current market is showing signs of a little bit more improvement, I suppose. Not in terms of rates, but in terms of ease, and in terms of efficiency. That's what I'm seeing. I do think that this January is slower than last year's January, but it's manageable. Yeah. It's not good by any means, but it's, I feel like it's getting easier to book loads. I'm not spending as much time on the load boards. I book loads faster for a better rate. Brokers are ready to negotiate. It's finally starting to become a little bit more clear, I would say. Do not outsource dispatching, huge risk. Yes, it is a huge risk. Be careful with outsourcing dispatching. I agree with Arthur. I'm based out of California. Also, got tired of paying the fees, so I just called the RP section. They sent me what I need to get it done a month ahead of time. Yeah, that's another way to do it. 100%. For me, a lot of the time, on one hand, I don't like delegating, but on the other hand, not at times, most of the time, I have no time. So whatever saves me time, I'm ready as long as the fee is not horrific. I will pay for it. But yeah. What? Landstar triple brokered my load. So I just noticed there are two types of Landstars. There is a Landstar, and then there is another Landstar that is banned by factoring. We have never had an issue with Landstar other than the fact that when you send them your bill of lading and your payment documents, they charge you for processing. I actually never had an issue with Landstar. And usually I'm able to negotiate pretty decent rates with them. Yeah, for the most part. I'm a new MC. What is included in a carrier packet to send to brokers to onboard? Well, first of all, you'll see their contract. They will always ask you for your certificate of authority. They will ask for your W-9. They will ask for your certificate of insurance, possibly listing them as a certificate holder, often listing them as a certificate holder. Sometimes they will ask you for a voided check for payment if you're doing ACH, and that's pretty much it. Some brokers ask for references. Keeps changing the website. You mean the FMCSA? I think I kind of messed up here. Where was I? What's up with the mask? Okay, D, I answered your question. Mask. Which mask? Where's the mask? um, Flatbed loads. Where am I? Jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. I just completely. So I'm a company driver and I worked for all of 2023. So just one document to file. I think it's the W-2, but I'm not sure. What is a good way to file my taxes? The simplest and cheapest way possible. The best way is to file yourself. The easiest way is to find an accountant to do it for you. To be quite honest, in terms of trucking taxes like IFTA, IRP, well, IRP, not so much. I guess I outsource the renewal, but heavy vehicle use tax, renewal of all the permits, anything that's trucking related, I do myself pretty much. Uh, Taxes, income taxes, I am just a complete moron when it comes to that. So I have a CPA who has been helping my husband's family for years and years and years, and he does all of that. I help him with like per diem and explaining to him the trucking specific taxes, but he does all the income tax. Yeah. um, I find a lot of flooring businesses that use flatbeds. Yeah. Uh, Always negotiate these rates, even if a rate is posted 9 out of 10 times. I've been getting paid a better rate. Yeah, 100%. Never believe the posted rate, nor do you have to believe when you call the broker when they say, all I have in it is this much. Okay, no problem. Just say no problem. Thank you very much. And then wait about 2 hours. You'll see that all of a sudden either their customer woke up and decided to increase the rate or they found a loose change in their pocket. Ah, it's a free market. Yeah, 100%. It is a free market. Thank you. Oh, I have an owner operator that averages $6 per mile all day, so anything is possible. For sure, those $6 per mile are short loads, unless you're operating something very specific or in a specific market area. Yeah, yeah, that's my question as well. Um, In lease, you get less money, so better is having ONMC and start with TQL. Yeah. I mean, I don't like giving advice to people on what to do because there's so many things that are happening that I'm hearing stories about that my advice, it just, yeah, I just don't like giving advice. You have one life, do what you think is best. The only thing I can tell you is, and this is not advice, this is just a fact, new MCs have a harder time booking loads. TQL is somewhere they do turn to. So yeah, TQL does have a few loads posted on the load board. They're pretty much everywhere. I'm just gonna skip some questions that I answered already. Ever since unions got washed out, our wages got cut. Now it's slavery, definitely not worth the time away. Booster, we pay after 2 hours sitting at the customer, they never pay. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, this whole detention thing and Tonu sometimes, they just don't pay. They pocket. Um, I lost over 130K the first year. Uh, my company is 9 months old from Texas, and the driver has three violations already. Do you think the FMCSA will shut down the LLC? The LLC, no. The FMCSA, your authority, though, the FMCSA might trigger an audit. Right? Insurance might start having issues like why are there so many violations in 9 months? But yeah, insurance keeps track of the CSA scores and the FMCSA, they're not going to come and say, you know what, you have three violations, that's it, you're out of service, you're shut down. No, they will probably trigger an audit. They could, not probably, they could. It could trigger an audit. Du- 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 du. Can I get a job as a truck dispatcher in Pakistan from the US trucking industry? Look, a lot of dispatchers are outsourced. A lot of dispatchers are not actually based in the US. I think that there's so much competition right now in terms of outsourced dispatchers that yeah, you have to provide some amazing, amazing service or at a very low price. Uh, but yeah, there's a lot of competition. Do people do it? Yeah, people do it. I seen guys adjusting ELD insurance and authority so easily scary. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Where was I? S- I'm gonna just got lost. I'm so sorry. What is going on with my StreamYard today? Where was I? Okay. I'll go from here. I was set up with hundreds of brokers and had relationships, still having issues for reinstating. So if you're brand new, it's going to be tough for 90 days. Yeah. Hi. Ellie or Eli? Eli or Ellie? Hi. I've never been to Israel. I really want to go. I really want to go. All right, let's Hi, trucker. Yes, Ian. Freezing in Dallas, Texas. Got it. All right, let's answer some questions I did not answer yet. Something new. Da, 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 da. House rates, flatbeds, refrigerated, dry van, fuel prices. Fuel prices are going up. Rates for all three equipment types as of the last market update, they were all up on the spot market. Um, some by more than others. And now we wait and see. Yeah. Uh, my daughter told my wife to stop talking in baby language. She asked if grandma speaks baby language also. Oh, how old's your daughter? Kids are the best. Вы диспетчер или брокер, I'm not a dispatcher, I'm not a broker, I'm not a customer. I'm a carrier, trucking company. I just happen to dispatch my own trucks. Yeah. Uh, thank you, Just Trucking, for recommending me your channel. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Question: do you think there is a psychological advantage if there was a broker that shared the pricing with the carrier, including the amounts he takes in the middle? What do you mean a psychological advantage that shared the pricing with the carrier? How so? Oh, I mean, would a carrier appreciate that? Oh, I see, like broker transparency. Okay, now I understand. Um, yeah, I mean, that's what carriers are fighting for. By the way, today's the last day to comment on broker transparency, but that's what a lot of carriers want. They want to see what brokers take as a margin because carriers right now, I mean, I don't have a stand. Personally, I do not have a stand for or against broker transparency. I approach it from a curious point of view. I would love to see what shippers actually pay, what brokers take what margins, but that is a curiosity aspect. At the end of the day, personally, I don't give a flying crap what anybody makes as long as I am making and my company is making what it needs to make, whatever that number is for me. It's not a small number, by the way. So I don't care, just like I didn't care in 2021 what the margin was. And I would argue that most carriers did not care because they were making what they felt was a fair amount. But yeah, a lot of carriers want broker transparency. They feel like they would be able to weed out the unfair brokers and the fair brokers. They feel like somehow this is going to give them some negotiating power. For me, it's just a curiosity aspect. Hello, trucking motivation. Rates move slowly because of contract rates. When it's time to renegotiate the contract rate, there is so much competition that bidding higher on a lane, you run the risk of losing that contract. Yeah. And right now is the request for proposals. This is about the time. Yeah. How to get loads direct from a shipper? Easiest answer, you start cold calling. Best way is to actually go to the shipper and introduce yourself. Hey, my name is this and this. I have a trucking company. Where are your areas of where do you experience challenges right now? Solution driven mindset. uh Hi Trey, what's up? Just joining the live. Not much. We're just talking about the trucking industry, how things are going. My driver's stuck in Houston today. Yeah. Is it because the weather, huh? I'm stuck in Houston today at receiver since Monday. Yikes. Ay, ay, let's see. You can contact me through talkabouttrucking at gmail.com. I keep forgetting my own email address. uh, let's see. All right, I'm gonna skip some questions that I answered already because I'm so behind. Uh, do you use a program for safety compliance? Nope, I do it all myself. Um, yeah, I do it all myself. I think I'm going to make a course on that because uh, I just have a way of organizing everything. I use Dropbox and Airtable to make sure that compliance is okay. And yeah, I've always gotten compliments from DOT officers, not me directly, but my guys have gotten compliments on our DOT folders or during an audit, the way everything's organized. So, yeah. How much do you pay for your insurance open deck? About 1,500 per month. Mhm. Do you run any JB Hunt loads? So it's funny. Yeah, we do. I do run JB Hunt loads. I haven't in a while now, though. It has been a long time since I last booked a JB Hunt load. Now, considering the fact that they are starting to use this verified carrier mess, I'll tell you like this. I don't have anything good or bad. I'm kind of neutral when it comes to JB Hunt. However, if they were to ask me to do this verified carrier thing, yeah, no, I'd block their number, I'd block their email. I would never work with them again. But yeah, when there is a good load, I will work with them. Georgia rates are absolute crap. For what equipment type? I don't understand why from 117 on January 17th, the market kind of crashed. It's definitely more, it's less exciting this week from what I see than it was last week. But look, I think a lot of it has to do with weather, where there's, I think, capacity just leaves the market so suddenly when the weather is horrific, or they don't make it on time to their pickup or delivery, which forces brokers to scramble to find capacity, whatnot. Um, but the weather is still not the best. Uh, any loads for flatbed Conestoga, Los Angeles. Look, we are not in Los Angeles often enough to be able, I can't really speak to the Los Angeles market on a consistent basis. I can say, however, that over the past, I would say 6 months, Los Angeles and California in general is not a good place to be for flatbeds. And right now, especially with the damage from the fires, it might be a little slow here. Uh, Excuse me. Any recommendations for a new carrier finding loads other than TQL? A lot of brokers require like 6 months, a year of authority, or some inspections or whatnot. Your best bet is to look for the smaller brokers. And the reality is, what you'll end up doing is when you log into your load board, is you're going to be just calling brokers one by one to see if anyone is going to take a chance on you. TQL is just a well-known broker that does work with new MCs, but I'm sure there are a lot of smaller brokers that do take a chance. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're in a really bad market area, like I said before, bad market for brokers, where they cannot find capacity, that's your chance to have like a list of references that you can send for the broker to make a one-time exception for you to be able to haul a load for them. And that kind of opens the door. Uh, I envy your husband. Don't envy him. He has to tolerate me. I'm annoying. I'm very, very annoying. Do you have any recommendations for a drug consortium? Yes, I do. DISA. DISA is pretty great. All right, guys, we'll do another 3 minutes. I do apologize, but another 3 minutes, and maybe I'll do another live on Saturday. This Saturday should be free. um, Asking questions about how to legally run for. Yeah, the beginning of this live was interesting because there were a lot of questions really about, well, how do I do it with TOT or MC? It was interesting. Hi. Chicago. Does she ever talk about, my name is Miranda. Hi. The sheer number of foreign drivers in the game now and how they are screw screwing up the market. Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I do talk about it here and there, but in terms of if you want me to go out and start bashing everybody and saying that it's your fault, I'm not going to do that. I have pointed a lot of fingers through the last 3 years in this industry. I have pointed fingers at a lot of people. It never makes me feel better. I think that the reality is it's either the situation is as it is, right? Can you change anything about the situation as it is right now, you personally? If the answer is no, then you start changing something that you can control. And that's what I'm doing, right? Um Good question. Why do so many carriers complain about being screwed over by brokers? However, they do not pursue legal action against freight brokers. Well, there are two answers to this. Number one, people like to talk and complain. I'm speaking from experience. I love to talk and complain. But in terms of legal action is, I mean, first of all, it's costly and time consuming, right? Uh, it depends what they're complaining about. Brokers who unfairly post freight guards against a carrier for something that didn't happen, they do get dragged to court. And as you remember, if you watch that video, one broker was forced to pay a crap ton of money to the carrier for posting a fake freight guard. You have to pick your battles, right? Are you going to take a broker to court over not paying $150 in TONU, considering what it costs to actually file? Probably not. So you just kind of pick and choose. Which broker do you prefer to book loads with at RTS? What do you mean? So RTS is our fuel company and factoring company. Sometimes I will book loads through Ryan Transportation, which is part of RTS. But what do you mean? Like which one has an A-rated credit score, or didn't fully understand your question? Do you mentor trucking company owners? I actually do not mentor and I don't do consultations. I will answer questions via email here and there. But yeah, I don't do consultations or mentoring. uh, thank you so much. Ah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see how everything progresses. Is it difficult to move your business from Los Angeles into any other state? It's not particularly difficult. The only thing is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, California is one of those places where you have to continue paying taxes here, even if you move to a different state. But I don't know enough about it. You'd have to research it. It's something that I heard. It's not particularly difficult to move a business to another state. The only problem is that the FMCSA is starting to red flag anyone who has a virtual address or whatnot. Oh, yes, Ryan Transportation. Like by name, which broker do I have a good relationship with? I don't remember brokers' names. There's only a handful of brokers I remember by name. One's name is Michael, not from Ryan Transportation, who is incredible. One is Julie, also not from Ryan Transportation, who is incredible. Ida. There are just a couple of brokers I remember by name from different brokerages. But yeah, I don't, I mean, Ryan Transportation, we book loads through them, but I don't really remember anyone particular. Which LLC company do you recommend? What do you mean? I am a simple man. I see Miranda, I click. I love it. Simplicity is always perfect. You never want to make things over complicated. uh every American truck driver or carrier that employs only American drivers should be concerned. It's not that weird that you don't care. So no, don't put words in my mouth. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't care. It's just that time is short, right? Complaint again. I'm the chief complainer when it comes to a lot of things. And I realized that all of last year, the year before, I've been complaining a lot, pointing fingers, and so on and so forth. When I can't control a situation, that just puts me in a bad position. I'll complain, nothing gets changed, and I just become extremely depressed or I suffer from anxiety. So it's not that I don't care. I choose to focus on things I can control. Does that make sense? When do you have to file your franchise tax for your LLC, and is it required in the state of Texas? Here, it's April. In California, although I believe we got an extension until October now because of the fires in Texas, I am not sure. Uh, yeah, this is sad. Um, I think most people, it's not that they don't know anything about this business, they're overwhelmed. It's an overwhelming business, you know? Do you see yourself staying in this industry until retirement? That is a great question. First of all, do I see myself retiring? Is a better question. I don't think I see myself ever retiring. Simply because I'm a strong believer is the day you stop working is the day you start dying. Mhm. You helped me 100%. I had the same situation. Broker posted a false freight guard against my MC for double brokering on a load my company delivered. I filed the suit thanks to you. Good for you. Yeah, false freight guards like that. Yeah, you want to file a lawsuit. That's where, I mean, a freight guard like that can cost you your business. So, yeah, that's where a lawsuit is, um, I would say, is worth it. I use LogRock for my driver, asset safety compliance, secure, and it's completely free. Ah, there we go. See, I learn something new from you guys every single day. Like all the TMS systems, like all of these things. Uh, any recommendation for a trip planning software? I'm trying to see what states are the best and the kind of rates out there. So I actually do not use any trip planning software simply because, first of all, I have a pretty good idea of what to expect in pretty much each market. When I'm unfamiliar with a market, what I do before booking a load is I will go to the load board and see what's coming out of the market we are potentially going to figure out if I want that load or I don't want that load. Yeah. So I don't, but oh yeah, I wanted to say something to keep in mind is that markets right now, they're not stable. They change constantly. So a market might be great one day, like last week, what was it? Last week, like a certain market in Texas was not bad. I don't remember where we were. It wasn't bad, but this week it was horrific. So markets change. This fuel card. Oh yeah, finally caught you on a live. You literally helped me start my business back in 2023. Oh, congratulations. Thank you so much. I hope everything's going well. um oh, I'm answering into partnership and they've run as a sole proprietor. I'm wondering if we need to upgrade to an LLC. LLC is always a good idea because it protects you. Right, it protects your own assets that are not part of the company. Limited liability, which means you do not carry the liability. LLC is always important, um, in my opinion. Yeah. How do you feel about how do you feel about hot shots? I don't know much about hot shots, to be quite honest. Personally, I like if you're asking whether we would want to have a hot shot in our fleet, possibly, but not right now, not as a priority. Mm, You're Douglas. You talk about how broker screws the trucker and it goes on and on, but you say truckers know the laws. Doesn't make sense. It is what it is. I didn't understand. You're talking about the domino effect that I talked about. No, what I'm saying is that, okay, think of it this way. The broker, okay, let's start with the broker, if that's where you want to start. Broker screws the carrier. Carrier doesn't make anything on the load. Let's just talk about it like that. Carrier then screws the driver to be able to make something on the load, right? It's a horrific cycle. It's a horrific domino effect. You can't expect, how do I explain this? What was your first comment? Sorry, hold on. Let me. uh, Most of these young truck drivers don't know anything about business and get pushed around and screwed. Okay, wait, was it? Am I answering something wrong? Maybe I'm answering not your comment. I'm sorry, Douglas. Hold on, I got confused right now. You talk about how brokers screwed the truck, and it goes on and on, but you say truckers know the laws. I think I'm answering the right. Are you talking about the domino effect that I was talking about? How one person screws that one, then that person ends up screwing the other person, and it goes on and on? How old are you? Old. What do you suggest for dispatching companies? I'm running a dispatch company from VA, Virginia. Any tips to make it better? Yeah, maybe offer some compliance services if that is something that you know how to do. Just offer more. Offer more. This is the best thing you can do. Have your clients back. Oh, there we go. I had a broker try to screw me, not paying the lumper. I held the load. They never paid me. I stored the load, charging daily. I turned a $600 load into 13,000. Uh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am I mean that first of all, that is amazing. But second of all, maybe I am just a person who wears suspenders with a belt. What did that uh, liquidated it and got paid? Did she get afraid? What did the broker do? uh, we need more legal talk here. What about the future of dispatch business because of AI and the competition in the market? I think AI is going to end up replacing brokers and dispatchers before they replace like truck drivers and self-driving trucks and all of that. Yeah. I think eventually everything is going to go towards less people, more technology. We need more legal talk here. We need, yeah, for sure. You know what? There was a moment when wait, I clicked the wrong one. There we go. We need more legal talk here. There was a moment where I was thinking, okay, because I like to understand everything, right? That's why when I started this channel, I really enjoy the fact that I learned from you guys because I start putting pieces together and it's really great. So I had this idea of maybe I should just study like transportation law or whatever, something. I don't know anything about laws and regulations and like all of, I mean, regulations, of course, but the laws, how they work and how intricate they are. But then I realized that I won't have like one lifetime is not enough to learn that. We need someone who knows the law like the back of their hand to join these live chats for sure. Where was I? Brokers are a nemesis in this industry. I would argue that, yeah, for the most part, definitely. What a carrier or a trucker wants is the exact opposite of what the broker wants. So yeah, of course there's that clash. But I over the past year, I have made some, I wouldn't say they're connections because I understand that these are still brokers who if they find someone cheaper, they're going to go with them. But I have met some pretty decent people who are brokers. Yeah. Um I'm a business person 35 years before buying a truck. They screwed with the wrong screw. I know the law, bill of lading laws, contract of carriage, Google. Oh, yeah. Uh, all right, guys. Anyway, I am late getting off this live. I do appreciate everyone joining today. I know this was a little bit of a shorter live uh, than it usually is. But yeah, anyway, probably, hopefully, I'll do another one on Saturday, but I'll let you know. And then we have a market update that's coming on Thursday, I believe, and whatever happens in between. Anyway, guys, thank you for gay. Thank you. I learned a lot from you guys too. Like, see, I learned from Douglas. Um, about how he got paid for his load. That's amazing. No, that is amazing. Seriously, 600 to 13,000. Wow. Mm. All right, guys. I shall talk to you a little bit later. And this is what I want to end with because this is absolutely true. If you operate under fear, afraid guard, you won't survive. This is very, very true. This is the last thing I want to show on the live because, yes, if you operate with fear, you will just not get, forget afraid guard. Fear is the death of everything, pretty much. It's just gonna prevent you from moving forward. All right, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.